Hi, I'm Norman E. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors to help business owners enjoy more freedom, grow their companies faster, and transition ownership seamlessly when the time comes. Today's guest is David Nanney, CPA. Welcome to the show, David. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Hey, we're going to start out. I'm just going to have you tell our audience a little bit about your background and your career path up until now.
Yeah, I have had over 20 years experience in the accounting profession, both in public industry, private industry such as AutoZone, Pfizer, some large companies, and then public accounting as well, with a large national firm here in Memphis. It started as a regional firm, and then it was acquired by a company out of Chicago, and then also on my own for the last 7 years.
Okay. Is there any particular type of businesses you like to work with, or?
Small businesses, what a lot of people would call mom and pop, but the people who have somewhere between 5 to 25 employees. There's a lot of issues that come up with that as far as payroll and different situations coming up for their. At that size, they've probably been pretty successful, so they've got some tax questions that are maybe unique for them, and they're buying equipment and that type of thing. So there's a lot of issues that come up with a company of that size.
Okay. As far as you personally, how do you think your friends would describe you?
Trustworthy, hardworking, also someone that cares about, takes a real interest in people's lives and helping them.
Okay. We talked earlier off camera about small businesses, and there's kind of misconception about what a small business is. I know you offer a lot of different services. Can you kind of inform our audience a little bit more about what the definition is of a small business, and then tell us about all the services you offer?
Yeah, there are some places that will tell you a small business is less than 500 employees. That sounds like a lot to a lot of people, but if you consider it like a manufacturing facility, that's not that many people if you have a couple of lines going and they're going 24/7 in 3 shifts, and you have office staff, and then from there on down, some of them are pretty obvious to see. I try to tell people, if you know it's not a national chain, if you know that it's they only have 1 or 2 locations, the odds are it's a small business. Obviously, if they're not publicly traded, that would be something that would let you know they're not a small business. But it's a definition that's a little bit nebulous, but there are different organizations have put thresholds on employees and that type of thing. So not necessarily on sales dollars. A lot of it's based on the number of employees you have.
Okay. What do you think differentiates you from some of the other CPAs in this area? Well,
I've been told by my clients that I go on site a lot more, I think, than other CPAs do. I go to their location.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm a visual learner. I like to get my hands on things. And so I take a manufacturing client I went out to their facility when I first got to work and we started talking. I said, hey, I'd like to come tour your plant. And they said, well, last guy didn't do that. And I said, well, I know, but I want to see, when I see these things on the financials, I'll know what they're talking about, and I can see it in my head a little better and see the processes better and understand, maybe I can pick up something that you haven't thought of, so I can offer them a little bit extra help. So I do a lot of time with my clients at their location. I try to go out there and see what it is they're doing. It's possible. I mean, some people you can't, but you know what line of business they're in. But if they have a brick and mortar location, I like to go out there and see what's going on.
I'm sure they appreciate that once you're there, just to know you took the time. What do you think is your favorite thing about the work you do with clients?
Well, I've told people this before. My favorite thing is to see, watching a client grow. I like to, when you've had a client for a few years, you look back and now they have, say, 20 trucks. And you remember when they had 1 truck, or you remember when they were struggling for cash and now they've got 100,000 built up in reserve. That's the fun part, sort of that historical perspective, how you watch them grow. Because that's the American dream. That's capitalism. Watch them go from a small guy that's a small business that got just one-man operations out there, grinding it out every day, and then all of a sudden there's 2 and then 4, and before long you look up and they got 50 employees and they're made it. That's the fun part.
It's gratifying to be part of that too, I'm sure. A big thing today is talking about people's why. Why do you do what you do? You've been doing this a while. I can tell you got a lot of energy. I can tell you love what you're doing. Why did you choose this particular area of work, and why do you like working with small businesses so much?
Well, years ago when I was first in college, I was good with numbers, everybody says, but I had I enjoyed seeing how all the pieces fit together, and also when you're in business, you'll hear business books will say accounting is the language of business. So it's accounting is an area where you can move around a bit and see other things because the terms are all, the banking terms, debits and credits, assets, liabilities, those are all accounting terms. So it allows you some flexibility to move across the different disciplines and still fit in and be able to help out. And that's what I like doing. I enjoy helping people and letting them translate those financials into English, so to speak.
Okay.
And that's what I enjoy doing.
Okay. Now, this is the last question.
Okay.
Business owners watch our show for one of a few reasons. Sometimes they're looking for a way to take a little more time off, a little more freedom. Sometimes they want to grow their company faster. Sometimes they want to transition ownership either to a third party or to an insider. And then sometimes business owners we run into have a hard time redefining their purpose after they leave their company. Their identity's tied up in their company and they move on and they're not sure what to do next. If you could, based on your experience of working with business owners, if you could give them one tip in any of those 4 areas, what do you think it would be?
Well, I think the part you mentioned, the last piece you mentioned there about them wrapping up their purpose in that business becomes what they're there to do, that they believe in their life. But I would encourage those owners to look around and see why ask the same question you're asking, why am I in this business? If you're in this business, that's where you get all of your personal sense of self-worth. That's a little dangerous because you're not going to be there forever, possibly, in this case, when they want to exit. So they need to find out what's most important to them and set those priorities and prepare themselves ahead of time to know that the day is coming. One way or another, they're not going to own that business forever because either they're going to, something's going to happen, some event will take place that they're not going to be there. So they need to get it ready for that next generation and build that legacy. We talk a lot about, with my clients in those situations, as far as exit plan, and I tell them it's not the most friendly way in the world, but I tell them, I say, you're going to sell it, or you're going to pass away, or something's going, or you're going to go out of business. I mean, that's the options. Something's going to happen down the road. So you have to prepare. And a lot of times, sometimes the touch horse for them is they want to leave it to their children. The children are completely disinterested, but they feel an obligation to dad or mom to keep this business going. And I tell them, so you got to be a little bit cold and be able to break that emotional tie to the business. And that's very difficult. It's easy to say, but it's very difficult. But I think if you can start preparing them a few years out, not wait until the last moment.
Okay.
I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, that's good advice, I think. Yeah, very good. Good interview. That was David Nanney, CPA. We're in Memphis, Tennessee today. For more information about David and his firm, please check out the show notes for this episode on our website.